This self-closing box is an interesting design. Here's a photo of the one that I made. When you make it, it's closes by itself at the top. Now there was a basic design online for this. You see the pattern is here. So I thought I'd show you how to look at a pattern like this and create your own custom design from it. I added the fancy top to this because in the instructions, and there was another site that had video of how to assemble, and it said, well, just use a punch to cut out any shape that you want, like a border punch. Well, I don't need to use a border punch because I just created my own fancy edge here. You can decorate it with any number of embellishments. I made different tags here with different sayings so that I could use it for multiple purposes. So whether it's for Valentine's Day or Thanksgiving or thank you or friendly card gift or happy autumn. So I'll show you how I did this. Since we have in the design, the suggested design for the box, which has a self-closing top, they give the measurements here. The box size is 8.5 by 6. So we click on, again, basic shapes, type SQ to get the square, double click. And when you add a shape, it goes where your caret is. So mine was way over there off the page, so sometimes you can't see it on the page. You need to go check and see where the caret is. And I'm going to empty get rid of all the extra layers there. So this is 8.5 inches wide by 6.5 inches wide. So I changed the aspect ratio to green, and 8.5, tab over to 6, and press enter. And pretty much we do this the same way. I'm going to type a 0 for X, a 0 for Y, enter, so it puts it right in the corner, and I'll change this to green so we can see through our design. And I could put snapping on it 1/4 inch to make these lines. Now they have a score line across the top, and this 1/2 inch here is for the tab over here. So what I'm going to do is click on my pen tool, add a new layer for the score lines, and right at the 1 inch mark, left click here, and I'm going to take it all the way over here to the 8 inch mark because the box without the tab is 8 inches. And I'll come down, I should have just left clicked, and then come down to the 1 inch down here, left click, take it all the way to the left, and right click. Then at the 4 inch line, I'm going to make a left click here and a right click here. These score lines in the middle don't extend all the way down, so I'll right click here. Then we have a line that goes to the 2 inch mark. Left click here, and then left click, left click, left click, and right click. So we have all the score lines, and I'll hide that layer. Yes. And now I want to draw some more lines, but I add a new layer because these are going to be cut lines. So I need one at 2 inches going up to that V, right click, one in the center, left click, right click, left click, right click, one at the center at the top, left click, right click. So the only thing that's really left for me to add now is this tab over here, and I can just left click, left click, left click, left click, and right click. And if they don't join, right click and join node. So then all I need to do to connect this is tap it once with my left arrow key, select both, and weld. So now I have all of these. I'm just going to join because these are the cut lines, and I can label those as cut lines. Yes.
Was that supposed to be on the very edge, or was it supposed to be in? That last quarter is too wide now.
This last quarter is too wide? Yeah, this is supposed to be in. I don't know what happened to that. Let's try that again. Good catch, Susan. Oh, I see. This line was supposed to go all the way out. Well, we can change that. I'll just left click, select it, hold my control key, and move it over.
Excuse me, Julie.
Yes.
You didn't have to move that out. That's perfect size. The outside line.
All right, I got it. I got it. What I'm going to do is change this line, move it over to the left, and now I can move this here. Just using my arrows. I did it a little differently when I was making it before. I'm going to hide the score lines, and now I can just weld this. So now I can make these score lines now. That looks better. So this box is ready to cut. Now, when I made this, I thought, oh, you know what, I can make it bigger. And when I did it bigger, and I didn't use real stiff cardstock, maybe medium-sized decorative cardstock, it was too flimsy and the top wouldn't close, which was sad because it's a self-closing top. The other thing that really does help is by adding these extra panels. It gives it a little more stiffness and it will close a little bit better. To make these decorative panels, it was pretty easy to do. You go to Basic Shapes, type in TR for triangles, and we'll use both a right triangle and an isosceles triangle. And the right triangle needs to be sized to fit in these shapes here, and they need to be 1, 2, 3, 4 inches tall and 2 inches wide. So we can resize those to 2 by 4. Press enter. And we need 4 of these, so we can just go to Edit, Duplicate, get 4 of those. And this one needs to be, if we turn it upside down, needs to be 4 inches wide and 4 inches tall. So we can type 4, tab 4, and enter. That gives us this size, and we'll make 2 of those. So the only thing is that these pieces should be a little bit inset to give the decorative look. So all I do is go to my shadow, and I think I made these a minus 0.05. It could be even 8. You can preview it here to see how much thinner. I'd like to let the background color show a little bit, or even up to 0.1. Minus 0.1 gives an inset shadow. Then you can move each of these pieces. I'll do a split here. You can move each of these pieces to their corresponding places. I'll turn off the snapping. If you're ever trying to work with shapes and they keep moving around, check your snapping. And I'm using the smaller, the shadow. I could hide the original, so then I'm able to put them all where they belong. These two I can mirror. And we can show all by clicking on the eye icon and show all. So we don't really need these pieces anymore. So we've got the basic